What is up, everybody? It's Paul Sun-Hyung Lee here, and I have to pause this because I'm getting... I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. The sound. This is... Because nothing can be easy. Nothing can be easy. All right, I'm going to just get this going again. Let's start that again. Boy, oh boy, now I know what Kevin feels like every time he blows an opening. Just kidding, Kevin. It's Paul Sun-Hyung Lee here. I am broadcasting live from the Sutton Place Hotel in lovely Vancouver. I'm very happy because the sun came out today. It's the first time I've seen the sun in what feels like a couple of weeks. And so, yeah, today was a great day. I went out, walked around downtown Vancouver for a little bit and, got a chance to see some sights and get some fresh air. And a bunch of people recognized me, even with my mask on, which I was really, really shocked about. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. It's Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, but you knew that. And I am here on this channel, Bitterasiandude Inc. Now, normally on Sundays, we have something called Fun Boxing Sundays for all the geeks and nerds out there, where I open up a bunch of geeky collectibles, do a half-assed review, and we chat. Well, it's been super busy, and I've been away from home, and haven't had a chance to go out and get those geeky collectibles. So what I thought we would do in this case would be to do another Ask Me Anything session. And I think there's been some news lately. Some of you might have heard about it. Some of you may not have. But I kind of figured people might have some questions and want to talk about it, because now I'm finally allowed to talk a little bit about what's been going on. So that's why I thought it would be great to do this Ask Me Anything session. Now, before we begin, though, I want to just say hello to CJ Adams, who've just become a Bitter Brigade commander. Welcome to the Bitter Brigade Officer Corps. Thank you so much for throwing your support in there. And enjoy the perks, which is added content that you can watch and the ability to participate in this chat here. So thank you so much for investing in this channel, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. In the meantime, let's say hello to who is with us here in... I was going to say the basement. I'm used to saying the basement. I'm not in the basement, but I guess the basement is wherever the heart takes you, right? It's like home is where you hang your hat. It doesn't have to be an actual place. So let's say hello to everybody who is here. Like, I know right off the bat, Brian Schoenfeld, you were the first on the chat. I noticed that. Thank you so much for your support and for being there. Melissa K, hey, you are here. Bitter Troll is here. Sean P, my brother from another mother in Los Angeles, is here. We've got Kevin. I don't know if he's sticking around, because I know he's got live stream on Sundays too. But Kevin, it's great to see you on the channel as always. You just came back from a fantastic trip over at DesignCon. I'm super jelly. Hope you had a great time. We got to talk about your experiences there, and let's plan for the next time, because I would love to join you the next time you're in lovely California. We have here Michael Valens. Hey, what's up, buddy? Tommy K's in the house. Shut up, Tommy! How you doing? Hope you're well. I'm actually going to be back home Thursday. I get to fly home for a week. A window of opportunity presented itself, and I'm taking it because I miss being at home. Miss good old East York. Bitter Troll is here with us tonight. Aaron S. is here with us tonight. We have Christopher Colvin is in the hotel room on the live stream. My sister Angela Lee is in the, I keep wanting to call it the basement. Is that on live stream too? Mel Dade, hello, how are you? You were here. Brian Humphreys already. I think I mentioned to you. Linda Muvik. Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I hope you feel better soon. I hope this live stream cheers you up. Mike Yuan is in the... I keep saying it. But Mike Yuan is with us today. Or maybe he isn't. But I think he is. He didn't realize it was a stream today. Well, surprise! We got Mike Mansell, Brandy Woods, all the way from Montreal. Anton Attard, congratulations on getting your pilot's license, my friend. Val A is here. Daniel Sertle, or D Sertle, is here, my nerdy friend in my nerdy collectors group. How are you? Joe Chufuk is in the basement of my heart. She's here. She's part of the live stream. I'm going to keep saying that. If we had a drinking game, you should all be drinking every time I say in the basement, and we're not in the basement. Side note, we got to do the 4K, 4 Kevins, 4 actual Kevins. If we get 4 Kevins commenting in a row, we've got a 4K happening, and I will do a giveaway. I will give away an autographed photograph and maybe a hat. Chi of Steel is in the basement. Fuck, I did it again. Take a drink. Hey, Louis Libitz is in the. I did it. Every time. I'm just going to keep saying in the basement. When you're on the live stream, you're in the basement of my heart. Bad Wolf Media Mike is in the basement. We've got John Carmen here. And I see Damaged Queen. You're going to watch it in bed tonight. Good. Hope I don't put you to sleep. Val A is there. Monstar 0305 is here. CJ Adams. Colin Hall is my neighbor. And we have... just cutting through. I know for everybody else, it's like, oh my God, why is he going through this list? It's because all these people, they're members, and they're very near and dear to my heart, and I gotta give them a shout out. I gotta give them their due. CJ Adams, welcome again. Gary Lau has joined us. Cynthia Lynn has checked in. Hip Optimus Prime is here. Thank you so much for the lovely compliment of being proud of me. Thanks. I believe that. Hey, my neighbor. Here we go. What a great guy. Christopher with his super sticker. Right on. Thank you. Thank you so much for this super sticker, my friend, and thank you for that donation. Really appreciate it. How's it going? It's going, my friend. It's going. Can't wait to get back home, even if it is for a little bit. I miss the neighborhood. I miss my bed. I miss my dog. I miss my kids. I miss my wife. Not necessarily in that order. That's just how it came out. I just miss being at home. Being on the road is fun for like 3 days, and then it's just like I'm a homebody. I like staying home. We've got Jinpei 05 is in the basement. Tom is here. Gabe Jones. Yoko McCann. Yoko, I saw your What Yoko ate, and I was super jealous of that too. Oh my God, I gotta go. I have to go. I have to visit Galaxy's Edge. I've got to visit that park. I'm so close, but I made a promise to my kids that we would go together. So as difficult as it is for me, I'm holding on to that promise. And I'm going to be going with them soon, I hope. Soon. Gabe Jones. I think I mentioned Gabe. Yes. We're just going through right now. Steve 3 is ironically in Los Angeles now. Steve 3 is my buddy Steve Davey, who very, very generously offered to hold some of my stuff here because I have to relocate here. I got to relocate here in January for work. So... We'll talk about that in the A.M.A. I am sure of it. Kevin Christopher. Kenny C3 is in the basement in spirit. Yes, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Love to hear the stories about you watching Ghostbusters Afterlife in New York City. What a place to do it. Looks like Gabe Jones is checking in from Chicago, the Windy City. Ah, yeah. Ken Shkev is in the basement. And here we go. All right. Well, we are here. I've caught up. I've said hello to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this special Ask Me Anything live stream. So let's just get to it because I think everybody's heard by now. On Monday, there was a press release that I have been officially cast, and I'm going to say this because I think a lot of people are still like, is this legit? Is this legit? It's legit. I have been cast as Uncle Iroh in live action, the Netflix live action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And in fact, I am. That's why I'm back in Vancouver. I was in Vancouver. That's why I was here about a week ago, doing pre-production stuff, getting wardrobe fittings, hair, makeup tests, and whatnot. Then I had to go to Los Angeles to shoot a mayonnaise commercial. Now I'm back here. I'm shooting Avatar. My first film day is tomorrow, actually. Very excited about that. Going to be working with some really, really wonderful people, the cast, and very, very excited about this whole process. So, I'm over the moon. This is the audition I was talking about beforehand. This was the big news that I had mentioned before that I was sitting on. Really, really happy that I can talk about it. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, and I am as well completely humbled and honored by the fan reaction to the news of the casting. It has been overwhelmingly positive, and I have to admit, I was really, really quite moved by the amount of support that I was getting from online, from all the different sources, and so. Now it's up to me to bring all of my talents, everything I can, to the role, to respect what Mako did, the great Mako did. I mean, that's for those of you who don't know. Take a drink. Avatar: The Last Airbender was originally a Nickelodeon animated series, and the voice of Uncle Iroh, or General Iroh, or the Dragon of the West, was originated by the late great Mako. He really embodied that character with his voice acting, coupled with the writing. Really made an iconic character, and I've got some big shoes to fill, and all I can bring is that love and respect for him, for the character, for the legacy that he's built, and do that honor and justice. And at the same token, by doing him justice, I'd be doing the fans justice as well. We want to keep the fans happy. And at the same token, because it is a live action adaptation, it's got to be me. It's me. I'm going to be physicalizing that role, so I need to bring elements of who I am and my choices into the character. I've gotten a little bit of pushback from some fans saying, don't do that, don't do that. But the whole point of it is, of doing an adaptation, is to make it my own. And I hope I've garnered the trust of a lot of people out there to be able to do that part justice. But if they just wanted, what I don't want to do is just copy and ape and just do an imitation or caricaturization. I don't want to make a caricature of that character, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I got to ground him, got to make him human. And that means I got to bring my elements, and that's what actors do. They bring elements of themselves into the roles. That's why you get fully, realized actual characters instead of just stock pieces or caricatures. And so hopefully people, I'll get some leeway with that, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Not surprised, but pleased, because I am entering this with an incredible amount of respect for the source material and for what has preceded, because like everything else, that is the foundation, that is the base, and to be quite frank, you don't fuck with it. You don't fuck with it. You build on it. So there we go. So that's my thing. Thank you, Mike. Mike, push back, do your thing. There's no other Iroh. Loved Airbender. Iroh needs a sense of strength and compassion. You got this, 100% guarantee, and that's what I'm hoping for. This is what I want to bring to it. That my sense, that humanization of this character. And I'm not going to be the cartoon. It can't be the cartoon. I'm not Mako. But what I'd like to do is, kind of like what they did with the Kelvin timeline for Star Trek. You got Chris Pine, who is playing an iconic character. You have Carl Urban, who's playing an iconic character. You have Zachary Quinto playing an iconic character. All the actors. And they brought... They had characters that were very, very recognizable, but still very much their own. That's what I would love to do with Iroh. So I hope you roll with me. I hope you roll with me on that one. So that's it. Yeah, Ken, if I drop an F-bomb, you go ahead and take a drink. You go ahead. I got my drink. Oh, by the way, this is kind of got to be like the tiniest Coke bottle in the world. It's only 300 milliliters. I didn't realize it was this small when I bought it. I thought they were a little bit bigger, but yeah, those little bottles of water you get on an airplane, you actually get more water in those than you do in these, but they're quaint, so I'm going to take a drink. This live stream is not sponsored by Coke in any way, although, hey, Coca-Cola, if you reach out, I'm not going to say no. It's me manifesting some sponsors. All right, here we go. Did we get a 4K? No, I see a Kevin Lee. And but that's about it. Okay, let's get over to some of these questions here. I posted here on the community section of my YouTube channel here. Asked some questions, and so we're going to go with some of the questions that were here, starting with this one here. Oh, Airness. It's a nice, easy one. When you go to Galaxy's Edge with the family, will you dress up as Carson Teva? LOL. Well, my friend, no. Long story short, no. I think there's a policy at the Disney parks, especially for Batuu, that you are not allowed to dress up in full cosplay. I think it's because then people will get too confused as to who actually worked there and who are guests. So I think you're allowed to dress up, theme-wise, thematically. It could be, you could look at it and go, oh, okay, that's in the style of a Carson Teva, or whatever costume you want, but you're not allowed to actually cosplay. And it makes sense from just a security point of view. I get it. because we all know the level of cosplay out there for Star Wars especially is tremendous. So you don't want any confusion between guests and people who actually work there. Let me see. Melissa K then asks, first of all, congratulations on casting news. Thank you so much. This may be redundant with some of the other questions, but how do you see your personal perspective on the entertainment industry changing, if at all, as you are becoming increasingly visible and well-known? Are there things that you would know / recognize now that you wish you could tell a younger Paul about? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm almost 50. I've been acting professionally since I was 25. It has been an incredible journey, and the stuff that I know now, yeah, I wish to God I could have gone back in time and told myself a few things that I should have focused on when I was younger. I think one of them would have been stop being so bitter. Like, legit, I was, you're starting off, you're all naive, and it's like, I'm going to book a lead role in a television series, or I'm going to be in the movies. And the reality is, it's not that simple. It doesn't happen. I mean, it happens, but it's not as often as Hollywood or the big sort of star discovered in a parking lot stories would tell you. It's a craft, it's a profession, it's something that you need to work hard at, and it's hard to get work. I mean, that's why it's so special when you do get work, and that's why it's celebrated so much when actors get work sometimes. It's a grind, and I wish I'd spent more time focusing on my craft and less time bitching and moaning about why I wasn't getting work. You know what I mean? At a certain point, there is some self-accountability, and it's the understanding that this is a business. And, back then, there were things that were definitely, the deck was stacked against you, especially if you were a BIPOC artist. That's just the way it was. But now it's sort of like there's a great sort of equalization and awakening that's happening, which is great. I think it's a great time for BIPOC artists, but at the same time, too, we need to be able to make sure that we're setting ourselves up to succeed. You know what I mean? And not just jump into the deep end of the pool and expect to carry an entire production or this or that. You want to be prepared for the work, and you want to be able to do the work at a high level. And that means learning the craft. That means paying your dues. That means having to earn your way on, just like everybody else would have had to have done, right? And that's really what this is about in terms of representation and inclusiveness. It's about giving equal opportunity to everybody to build their careers. It doesn't mean handing out, lead roles to people who are not qualified for these parts just because of the color of their skin. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that the BIPOC community, we need to realize as well. Yes, there needs to be change. Yes, absolutely. There needs to be inclusiveness and diversity, but you still need to earn it. You still have to have the craft to do it, because otherwise you're doing a disservice to everybody who is studying the craft, right? And so that's one thing I wish I could be able to tell myself when I was like, and also save your money. Don't piss it away. Stop doing those. Stop buying those things that are really bad for your health. Okay, just stop and save your money. So there's that question there for you. Here we go. We've got, geez, Robert, you honestly, my cup runneth over with you. Thank you so much for this super generous super chat donation from Robert. Cheers from Concord tonight. Sorry I'll miss this, but I'll be in the OR for the next few hours. Oh my gosh. Check it out tomorrow. Here's something of a future unboxing. I can't wait to see you as Iroh. Thank you. I hope you're okay. Can everybody hear that siren? That's the other thing. There's a lot of sirens in Vancouver. I'm right downtown, so maybe it's just me. But Robert, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for that super generous, always generous donation to the channel. I really, really appreciate your support. It means the world to me, and I hope everything's okay, because you said you were in the OR. But if you're going to be watching this tomorrow, we'll check in with you and make sure you're doing okay. Here we go. I'm going to go through some of these comments now. Daniel, freaking smartass. To be honest, I'm surprised that the role didn't go to Scarlett Johansson. Wow. You would have gone to Emma Stone first. And then, only then, would it have gone to ScarJo. No. I think Hollywood's learned a lesson. Hopefully they have, right? And I'm really buoyed, and I think a lot of fans are, by the casting. I mean, they've gone the Netflix and the showrunners for Avatar have gone that extra mile in terms of making sure that the show is appropriately cast. I mean, you have it's wonderful looking at that wall of casted performers in production, because I honestly haven't seen a wall like that other than Kim's. And it's special. That's special. When you see a wall of faces that look like your own, it's amazing. It's amazing. And with something like Airbender, you can't go any other way. You can't. And there is that deep consideration when it comes to casting. And everybody that's up on that wall, too, it's not just because of the color of their skin. They're all accomplished actors. It's incredible. It's incredible. And I think Gordon Cormier, who's playing Aang, is a revelation. You know, the actress Kia Waititi, who plays Katara, she's a crafted actress. Ian Owsley, who's playing Sokka, my God, he's gonna steal every scene he's in. He is so funny. He is so, like, just for me, pitch perfect for Sokka. And Dallas Liu playing Zuko, I'm so looking forward to working with him. We had a rehearsal today, and he just blew me away. Blew me away. There's going to be an incredible amount of heart and fun and excitement to this series, and I think the fans are going to love it. I think the fans and people who've never seen it before, I've got a really good feeling about this, and yeah, I'm super excited to be a part of this. Yeah. Hey, we got 1-6 shooters in the basement. Fanboy Cantina is here too. Hello, hello. And then let me see. Sorry, just reading the comments here. Yeah, you should watch cartoon, Kevin. You should. Hey, you know what? Your kids are probably the right age to watch the cartoon. So watch it with them. They'll get a kick out of it. And honestly, like, it just, each series, I mean, it just builds from season 1 to 2 to 3, book 1 to book 2 to book 3. It's great. It's really, really great. So check it out. You won't regret it. Okay, we got another question here. Let's go. Colin Hollis, my neighbor from East York's got a question here. Congratulations, Paul. We are just so happy for you. Now that you have your dream role on the West Coast, what production filming in the GTA would you have most liked to be part of? Well, I'm glad you asked that, because, you know, it's got to be Star Trek. Star Trek, I think I really would have loved, for me, because there's 2 Star Treks being filmed in our hometown of Toronto. We've got Star Trek Discovery, and I got a bunch of friends on that show. Super happy for them. And, of course, Star Trek Brave New Worlds, which is the Christopher Pike version. I kind of would love to be on that Brave New Worlds thing. Enterprise is special. You know, that's like, for me, it's like being a rebel pilot in Star Wars, right? It's like being Carson Teva. It's just like to serve on the flagship, starship in Starfleet would be, yeah. That's me being completely greedy. Would love to be on that show, because it's filming in my hometown, right? Like, that's win-win. But yeah, and again, that's another franchise that I grew up with that I really absolutely adore. So it would have been, yeah. That's the one I would have picked. That's the one I would have picked. The hotel Wi-Fi does seem solid. Yeah, Sutton Place stepping it up. I'm actually in. So this is actually like a suite, like an apartment. I've got a kitchenette, I got a dishwasher, I have like a convection oven, I got a stovetop, full-size fridge, actual desk, and here I am in the dining room area because the lighting is the best in this room, so that's why I picked it. And there, Monstar 305. Can you give us a sample of your Iroh voice? No, Justin, no. You got to tune in, and then you get it. No freebies. I'm living the fancy life. Yes, I am living the fancy life. Star Trek Discovery, don't they film that at 123 Commissioner Street? No, No, 123 Commissioner Street. I mean, they're at Pinewood. Is that 123 Commissioner Street? I know they're at Pinewood. So that's it. Let me see. Yes, this is a fancy schmancy place. Actually, I have a balcony. I have like a little terrace balcony that overlooks the IGA, where I get my supplies from. Okay, let's do another question here. This one is from John Carmen. John, the recent news of a Netflix show about the last blockbuster starring, oh my God, let's try that again. The recent news of a Netflix show about the last blockbuster starring Randall Park had me thinking about the last blockbuster documentary with Kevin Smith. I love it both as a Blockbuster member and former video store employee, and I remember in the last A.M.A. you mentioned that you worked at a Blockbuster. Have you seen the documentary, and what do you think? And if Lamb of God is here, Randall from Clerks is basically my role model at that job. I have not seen the documentary. And yes, I did work at Blockbuster Video. That was probably one of the best jobs I ever had. I just didn't realize it at the time because you're restocking video. You're working, it's a movie store. Good Lord. You get to watch movies and get paid to make recommendations. And yeah, there's some work in terms of restocking and this and that and dealing with certain customers. But, if you just remember you're working at a video store, yeah. I mean, that was a great job. That was a great job. The corporate nature of the job wasn't so great, like having to upsell shit. But actually working there that's a fantastic job. So no, I'm very excited to see that last Blockbuster series with Randall. Randall's a freaking comedic genius, and so that's going to be fun to watch. But I'm going to check out that last Blockbuster documentary because I also love Kevin Smith. Love that guy too. In fact, I'm going to be home. Some of you may have overheard. I'm going to be home. I'm going home on the 25th. I'm going to spend a week at home, which means Sunday there can be a proper fun boxing Sunday back at my home base. I've got a whole whack of hot toys that got delivered while I was away, and something that was signed by Mr. Kevin Smith that I'd be very happy to share with all of you to check that out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at that. So tune in. Funboxing 24 is gonna be at home. It'll be a fun episode. Yeah, because and then afterwards I gotta jump back over to Los Angeles to finish shooting that Mayo commercial, all the inserts. Okay, Ernest, my partner would like to know how you and your wife met. I would like to know how that Mayo commercial in LA is going. And are you ready for hopefully a change in your career and life as more people get to know you and Avatar? Okay, that's a great question. That's a great series of questions, so I will do my best to answer them in a timely fashion. Short form, the short version of the story of how I met my wife was drunk at a bar. The longer version is I was actually, I'd quit my job at Blockbuster. I was quitting my job at Blockbuster. And I was super happy that I was no longer going to be working for that corporate sort of monstrosity because I keep talking about how it was a great job, and it was a great job, but I will still maintain that working for a big corporation was a bit, because I took it too seriously. Corporate said you need to do that, so I tried really hard to do that. Corporate said you need to uphold all these values, and I tried to, and then, when a customer would complain, the corporation would just throw you under the bus because they didn't want employee loyalty. They just wanted customers to be satisfied. And that meant, if a customer complained, then they would capitulate and throw the employee under the bus. So I was kind of sick of being sold out by Blockbuster because that's what happened. Customers threatened to sue me for slander. That's a whole other story. And so I was fed up, and so I was quitting Blockbuster because I was going to make the jump and become a full-time actor. That's what I wanted to do. And so I was at a bar with friends celebrating. And one of my friends, he had to go. The other friend was in a really crappy mood. And was like, I want to celebrate this night. So I had friends who lived in the neighborhood, so I called them up. And they were entertaining friends. And one of those friends that was there was my future wife, Anna. So Anna was there, and I said, "You guys, you have to come out, please. I want to celebrate. I'm here at this bar. They've got NTN trivia. There's going to be a DJ downstairs. There's going to be dancing. Please, please, please come out." So they did, which was great. And my wife was with them. And like a number of things had to go right that night for us to meet, basically. And, you know, because one of my wife's friends who's there had decided to go home. She's like, "I'm going to go home. I just live like a few blocks away. I'm going to go home." And Anna would have walked with her or gone with her, except that she kind of felt like she wanted to stay out a little bit longer and have another beer. And so if she decided to go home, well, then I would have been shit out of luck because I never would have met her. Right? So, you know, that had to happen. My friend had to be in a miserable mood, blah, 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 blah. So she came in and it was like, I mean, I was 4 pints in too. So, full disclosure, a little bit tipsy. But I saw Anna and I fell in love, like right there. I was like, "Oh my God, who is that?" And then I tried to be funny, Paul, making jokes and like, and I remember every sort of joke that I tried to make, every you know, quick-witted remark was met with, she immediately shot down every joke. It was like, crash and burn. And it was a great sort of battle of wits. And she left to go to the bathroom, and I remember turning to our mutual friend Kay, and I said, "Kay, I really like her, but I have no idea if she likes me, because she keeps like just ripping apart all my jokes." And Kay turns to me and says, "You know, Paul, let me tell you this. I've known Anna for 2 years. I've never seen her act this way with anybody." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Except that still doesn't answer my question. I don't know if she hates me or likes me or not." So at the end of the night, I did basically something that I'd never, ever had the courage to do. And that was, I went up to Anna and said, "Hey, you know what? I really enjoyed meeting you tonight. And I'd love to spend more time with you. Here is my number." I didn't ask her for her number, which I would have done back in the day. And that puts immediate pressure on them. And I didn't want that because this was just so different. So I said, "This is my phone number. It's yours. If you want to hang out, give me a call anytime. If you don't, there's no pressure. You'll never see me again, and it's fine." We just kind of left it at that. And yeah, a couple days later, she called. And then we went on a date. And it was a great date. And we went on a couple more and a few more. And then 3 months later, we were engaged. And yeah, that's a whole other story. But this year marks August 25th, 2021, marked 20 years of marriage. So things work out sometimes. So that's how I met my wife. So there. Next part of the question was, I would like to know how that Mayo commercial in Los Angeles is going. It's going great. Mayonnaise is a very tricky thing. We spent 2 days working on just one section of that Mayo commercial, you know, and it was fascinating. It's a fascinating process. Mayonnaise is a very complex thing. And so that was great because, you know, at first it's like, "Yeah, we're shooting a mayonnaise commercial. This is awesome." And then it's like, "Wow, it's taking this long to shoot a mayonnaise commercial?" So, and then I have to go back to finish off the mayonnaise commercial later on in December. But it's a different part of the mayonnaise story. So I'm just really looking forward to that. And are you ready for hopefully a change in your career and life as more people get to know you in Avatar? Yeah, this is like, you know, there was Kim's, and then there was Star Wars, and now there's Avatar. And it's just like, just when I think it can't get any more surreal, it does. It levels up. And then we're just filming it. Like, once the show gets released, there's going to be another huge bump, right? And if it does well, it's going to be another huge bump. So it's been pretty heady stuff, I have to admit, you know. And it really is kind of a leveling up because I've noticed that, and I love Canada, that Canada's my home, but the industry, the scale of industry in Canada versus America, it's exponentially bigger in the States just because the money is way bigger. Canada, the projects that we have the size, were often very limited by budget. Like, when's the last time you heard of a $250 million Canadian only production. It's very rare. It's very rare and very difficult. Whereas in the States, it seems more and more I mean, they co-pro with other countries now too. And yes, Canada does co-productions, but in terms of a television series or even a feature film, it's very rare. And when they do that too, it's an interesting thing because we don't have a star system in Canada. And that's the other frustrating thing. Whereas in the States, part of the star system as well is recognizing that certain names bring in value. And these actors should be compensated for the value that they bring to a project. Canada, we don't have that. And I think specifically it's a Canadian thing to keep costs in control, right? And this is my opinion. So, and I'm not going to shit on anybody in the industry, but my observation is, that is a controllability thing where it's the whole mentality of just be thankful you have a job, okay? You're working. So don't ask for more because there isn't more, but just be thankful. Like, it doesn't matter what you bring to it. But it does matter. And that's the one thing that I think as Canadians, we are polite. We are, and that kind of goes hand in hand with being Asian as well and that whole thing. But it's about controllability. It's about making sure that actors are kept at a certain cost and we can't have them making too much because heaven forbid. And that's what I'm noticing the most is that bump is sadly having to, for more fulfilling work or for work that is just beyond the scope of what we have here in Canada, you have to leave the country. I hate saying that, but I'm finding that's kind of the truth. I mean, the ironic thing is that we're shooting a Netflix series here in Canada, but it's a U.S. show, right? So there's that sort of weird sort of dichotomy of, they shoot huge things in Canada, absolutely, but they're not Canadian. They're not 100% Canadian. They have Canadian talent in them for sure, but they're not Canadian productions, right? So I find that interesting. It's a weird thing navigating that, and of course the being recognized on the streets more and more still throws me for a loop. I mean, again, I was saying today I had my mask on, and people were like, "Are you Mr. Kim from Kim's Convenience?" I had a mask on. I was like, "How'd you know?" People were like, "We love the show." So that's different. That's a whole other level now. And yeah, I was out for a few hours today and I got stopped like a dozen times. Like everywhere I went, it's weird because I'm in Vancouver too. Like I'm not even at home. So anyways, that was different. That was different. Okay. What do we got here? Oh, Ray, you made it. You made it. Finally. There you go. Here's a good question from Kevin. Does Anna like ketchup chips? Yes. She loves ketchup chips. And she's so happy I hate them because she gets more. And my kids love ketchup chips too. So, yeah, I think I'm the outlier in the family, I think. Get ready for it. Ketchup chips are garbage. That's right. I said it. Where's that thumbs down? Ketchup chips are garbage. I maintain ketchup is a garbage condiment. You can like it. I'm not going to respect you less because you like ketchup. I just can't stand it. I hate ketchup. Anyways, just kidding. Not about ketchup. I don't like ketchup. I don't dig it. I'm more of a savory thing. I don't like putting sweet shit on my food. Ketchup or gravy. I put gravy on. I like savory. People who put ketchup and gravy on, I don't know. Gotta make a choice. Okay. Yes, Mel, everybody's buying the mayo thing. Everybody is, okay? Here you go. Oh, Kevin. Okay, this is from Kevin. Was I a fan of Tony Leung in Shang-Chi? Abso-fucking-lutely. I thought he was fantastic. In fact, I thought he stole the movie. To be honest, he stole the movie for me. I love Simu in it, but that was Tony. Like, how could he not? Like, he just chewed it up, man. He just chewed it up. Like, now you're gonna get me in trouble with Shang-Chi himself. Let me see. There's all this. Some of the okay, so I'm noticing there, and I love this. So I have this whole filter thing going on in the comment section, and you're all members and stuff like that. But anything slightly derogatory, like saying that these are trash or this or that, it's making me clear them or not. Like, should you show this comment? Should you not? And it's just like, yeah. So that's the funny thing. There. How about that? Angela. Ketchup, mustard, and gravy? You don't do that still, do you? Mustard on French fries? Mustard on hot dogs? Yes. Mustard on French fries? No. Gravy on a hot dog? Oh, that's kind of iffy. Yeah, I think so. With some cheese curds. I think that's doable. But ketchup? No. People who put ketchup on the poutine? I question your choices. I question them. All right, here we go. Mayo on French fries. Absolutely. Because if you're going to have a heart attack, go big, right? Go big or go home. Mayo on fries, absolutely. Chili dogs with cheese sauce and mustard. I don't know about the mustard, but I'm with you there for the chili dogs. Kimchi poutine. I would argue if that's poutine or not. Just saying that, Gary. Just saying that. Okay. Dan is officially targeted. Ketchup on poutine. Oh, he does? Really? Oh, Daniel. I know you work for the city, but dude, what have you done? Here we go. Oops. Sauerkraut on hot dogs? Yes. Sorry, it keeps moving up. I'm trying to get this one. There we go. Ketchup on poutine, go directly to jail. If you pass go, do not collect $200. 100% agree with you, my friend. This basically says right there, Daniel. You plead the fifth, that means you're guilty. Big old guilty sign. Big guilty sign. Chopped onion on fries. Chopped onion on fries. I don't know. I've never tried that. I mean, it's a potato and an onion, so it could work. It could. I mean, if you could put chopped onions on your hot dog, and I enjoy that sometimes. Chopped onion, some mustard. Oh, man. Nice foot long from Nathan's. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. All right. I'm with you on that, except I'm in a household with 3 ravenous ketchup consumers. So, I am the outlier. It's like I'm the only one who doesn't drink milk in the house, but that's only because milk makes me feel... there you go. Caramelized onions on fries. Yeah, it's basically a pierogi. That's right. All right, here we go. We've got a question from Mike Mansell, number 1. Firstly, congratulations on your great news. That's awesome. I'm happy for you and your family. Thank you. My question is, what drives you as an actor? What motivates you to keep going and know you're not allowed to save money for your collectibles? LOL. That's a great question, Mike. What keeps me going is I love doing what I do. I love acting. And as I've gotten older, I feel like I can tackle more. And I'm capable of doing more as a performer. And also my drive is I want to play in all those playgrounds that I was not allowed to play in before, like in sci-fi, like in Star Wars. Like these big sort of epic pieces, because for the longest time as an actor of color, I was denied entry into these, at least as a regular character, as a character whose narrative drove the action. For background, supporting minor characters, sure, it was always kind of open. It was just like small parts for a large group of people. Now to be able to play on a bigger scale, ooh, as an actor and as a nerd, yeah, I want to chew that up. So that's what keeps me going. And this whole process of auditioning for Avatar has reminded me of that, and so I'm very, very grateful for that too. So. Oh, this breaks my heart. Thanks, Kevin, for the super chat. But the question is, I would love to hear your thoughts on HasLab Rancor. That breaks my heart because I think, Hasbro. It's just, it's like they haven't learned their lesson. I mean, this is for those of you who don't know, Hasbro, they have these HasLab projects where basically they throw out a concept and they go, hey, like here's an example, the Ghostbusters Proton Pack. We've got a Proton Pack, it's 1-to-1 scale replica model, but we need 7,000 backers to make this a reality. And it's going to cost this much money, and this is what you get on it, and blah, blah, blah. So they make the pitch to everybody. And the fans look at it and go, holy shit, they either want to back it or they don't. And there are incentives. So once you reach like 7,000, you go, okay, boom, this is a go. We're going to put this into production. Now we have stretch goals. If you want to make it that much more fancy, if we hit certain levels of commitment from people who are backing it, like a Kickstarter, you get special prizes to go with it. And with the Proton Pack, it's like one level. The next level is it's a hose connector, and then there's a mod pack to change it from I think it's the Afterlife to the original, the OG Ghostbusters Proton Pack. And then there's a special mounting stance. So each level is a great perk to have that really gets people excited to back this project. Well, with the Rancor, which was, if you watch Return of the Jedi, that's like that big creature that is in the underneath Jabba's throne room that he dumps Luke down into in a Gamorrean guard, and it scoops up the guard and eats it, and Luke basically kills it. But it's this gigantic sort of dragon-like creature. So they released they were going to do like, was it a 1/6 scale? It's HasLab, so like it's big. It's a big scale for I think it's for the 3 3/4 inch figs. So it's gigantic. They released it, looked really, really great, and they just dropped the ball when it came to the perks. They were underwhelming. It was like they were saying, hey, we have a bunch of these garbagey characters that are peg warmers. Let's just repackage them, and we'll throw those in because people are stupid and they'll buy whatever we throw it away. And they started losing backers. They went from 5,000 to 4,000, and like I think it's still dropping, and like the stretch goals were laughable, and it was just so a lot of fans felt completely disrespected by it, and they were like, we're not going to back this garbage. And it was like this, it came unpainted and then the painted version, and it was just really underwhelming, and they just kind of botched it. So I think it's like, yeah, no, this is it's unfortunate, and it is kind of disrespectful to the collectors because their money. And I think this will be a great kick in the ass, honestly, to Hasbro, because it's like these are people that are investing in your product. You can't ever underestimate them. You can't. So that's the thing. Yeah. Again, and they were offering repack like things. Basically, these were figures that nobody wanted. And it was like, really, that's a stretch goal. You're going to throw in these garbagey sort of characters. And Lando is like just as a joke because they made so many Lando Calrissians and they just weren't selling, right? And so there are a lot of great channels out there that discuss it. There's one channel, Can't Kill Chewie, that I love watching, and he sort of breaks down the value of Black Series figures and the vintage collection figures and this and that. And and he loves these figures, but he's very frustrated with Hasbro. So check it out, Can't Kill Chewie. I love his voice. He's got a very sardonic, very sarcastic way of speaking, but he speaks truths. And I think as a collector, I appreciate his points of view, and he really does sort of point out all the foibles that Hasbro is sort of going through. But and it's not to say Hasbro always blows stuff. Their Razor Crest was amazing, right? I think the Sentinels, they hit a home run with that. So it's not all like bumbling around in the darks, but just every once in a while they come up with a lemon like the Rancor, and you kind of like scratch your head going, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? This is the Gamorrean is dope, Salacious and Luke is boring, cardboard background is lazy. And these are all sort of the stretch goals. So y'all answered your own question there, Kevin. I think you just want to hear me sort of rant. The Razor Crest, but here's the other funny thing. Sorry, and this is from Mike, Bad Wolf Media. He wants a Sky Striker now, and that's the G.I. Joe. Huge, humongous, like the F-14 Tomcat, basically. You're bummed you missed the Razor Crest. They're making some of the things for HasLab, like, that were supposed to be exclusive to HasLab backers. They're making them, available to just like anybody now. So it's like you kind of sit back as a collector, you go, huh? Well, then if I could have just waited for it to come out of the stores, why didn't I do that? Right? So that's a bit odd. It's a bit odd sometimes. Here we go. All right, here we go. We got another question. This is from Meldade, my friend in the six. A theater question. A friend saw you in a play a few years ago wherein one scene had you jumping up and down on a bed in your underwear. What can you call about this production, as you can't remember the name of the play? Congrats, of course, on your news. I don't remember being on a bed and jumping up and down on my underwear. I was in a play called The Monster Under the Bed, where I played a monster. I was never dressed in my underwear, but my costume was bits of stuff that you would find stuck under a bed, like socks and toys and clothes and dust. And I was jumping around on the bed for that. But I can't recall a stage production where I was jumping up and down on a bed. There's a stage production where I was naked and somebody was jumping up and down on me on the bed. That was, of course, the Soul Pepper production of La Ronde, which was adapted by Jason Sherman. Yeah, never again. Never again. Naked on a stage. Yeah. Never again. Oh, that's the one. La Ronde? Yeah. Yeah. I was never jumping up and down on that bed. No. I was just... Nope. Being naked on stage is an incredibly vulnerable thing. And if you have any kind of body issues, any kind, it's not... I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. It made sense for the character, though. I will admit that. But if I were to do that again, I would... Hard no. Oh, yeah, Soul Pepper does... Yeah, they did naked plays. Oh, yeah. I wasn't the only one naked. But I think I was the only one fully naked. And it wasn't all at the same time. It was... La Ronde was basically... It's like a daisy wheel play where it's like two characters, A and B, and then the next scene is character B and C, and the next one is C and D. And so there's that connection of the characters all the way around. And it was all sexual. It was based on an 18th century play by... I can't even remember the playwright's name. But there was a modernization of it. And this was actually Jason Sherman's second go-around because he had been commissioned a few years earlier from Soul Pepper to do it, and that version didn't go over well, so he was given another opportunity to do it, and that one didn't go well either. So, what are you gonna do? Brad Davids is asking, did I get my zombie portrait? It's Northern Nerdcast, by the way. Your account is acting up on you again. I haven't been home, so I'm not sure. Possibly, I'll let you know next Sunday. I'll let you know. Hip Optimus Prime, what is the first thing you did when you found out you got the role for Avatar? And was the audition you were doing a couple of weeks ago? Yes. Great question. So this is what happened. A couple of months ago, I got sent an audition notice from my agent saying, hey, there's this production called, what was it? It was for a movie called Blue Dawn. And it was, for the part of a basketball coach. I was like, oh, basketball movie. And the character description was Harold was an ex-collegiate basketball coach who was very, very well respected and well renowned. And he was coming out of retirement to help coach his nephew, who was a basketball protege. Didn't make any connections whatsoever. And I was like, okay. And it was just like, I remember putting myself on tape for it. I remember the lines were really, it was two really well-written scenes. And it was really easy to memorize the lines and put myself on tape. And I just did it and sent it off and didn't think anything more of it. And about a month later, I get a call from my agent saying, oh, okay, so, you have a callback, a Zoom callback with producers and director for Blue Dawn. And I was like, Blue Dawn? What the hell is Blue Dawn? Couldn't remember. So I look it up. I was like, oh, it's the basketball thing. Oh, okay. Not thinking anything of it. And my agents were like, okay, so the casting agents are going to send you the sides again. And that's the audition piece. I was like, okay. And, you know, I got sent the sides, and it said, you know, casting had a note saying, oh, by the way, the character in the script is Harold, but the character's real name is Iroh. Iroh. That's when everything started to click. I was like, holy shit. It's for Avatar. And that's when I got nervous. Because I wasn't nervous before, because before it was just a basketball movie. Then I got nervous. So there was a Zoom audition, which is weird. Zoom auditions are weird because you're not in the same room. You can't see everybody when you're looking at them. It's happening right now. So I'm looking at somebody and I'm talking to their picture, but I'm not talking to the camera. So if I'm not talking to the camera, it doesn't look like I'm looking at them. So that was weird. And then I guess that went over well. And I had a chemistry read with Dallas Liu to see how it was. And then I didn't hear anything for a couple of weeks. And so I really wanted it, but usually you hear pretty quickly if you get, especially after a chemistry read. I didn't hear anything. And one of my survival mechanisms as an actor is once you sort of make up your mind, just for peace of mind, you kind of go, okay, I didn't get it, and you flush it. You just forget about it completely. I try not to think about it, which is why I couldn't remember auditioning for Blue Dawn initially. Oh, and, just so you know, a lot of productions, they will do that. They will have nicknames for, like, code names for the production so that people don't realize what they're shooting, right? And so, like, basically, Blue Dawn is no longer Blue Dawn anymore. It's changed its names a bunch of times. And they'll do that as well. They'll shift production names so that to the casual viewer, they won't be able to tell what's being shot. But anyway, so, yeah, I thought it was done. So my wife and I, we were at the car dealership, actually. And we're trading in our SUV for an electric hybrid, plug-in electric hybrid. And we were finalizing the paperwork, and I get a call from my agent. And it was like, what? I was thinking, oh, hey. And she said, okay, I'm patching in Daisy, who's my U.S. representative as well. And she's like, why do they both want to tell? Oh, my God! And so I was like, because that was the only thing it could have possibly been. So in the middle of signing the papers, I stood up and said, I'm sorry, I have to take this phone call. And I left. And Anna was like going, and she was like, and then the salesperson was like, is he okay? Is he going to be okay? And my wife's like, it's fine, I think. So I had to go outside, and they let me know that I booked the part. And I was like, excuse me. And I put my hand on the phone, and I yelled so loud. I went outside, and I forgot that I was on in a car dealership. There were people outside, and everybody looked at me. It's like, fine, it's good. And so that's when I found out. That's how I found out, and that's the way I did. I just shrieked with joy. And I was super pumped and super happy and super grateful. And I remember I was talking to my Canadian agent, Tova, and she's just over the moon for me, so happy for me. And she said, hey, it was really cute because Daisy, my U.S. rep, was just like, oh, my God, he was just so nice. And he never asked how much he was going to get paid. I was so happy to get the role. I didn't care. But usually that's the first question. First or second question is, that's amazing, that's great. How much do I get paid? I was just really, for me, it's about the work too. I mean, getting paid is important, but it's never like the first thing that I think about. Is just like, did I get the work? And so for me, the work is important. So that's what happened. Sorry, I'm just reading some of these things. You guys are so smart. I love this community. I love all of you. These comments are making me laugh. Did the car dealer put the price up? No. They had no idea what was going on. Which is great. All right, Daniel, have fun on the ice, doing back floods. Working on an ice rink, keeping that ice nice and smooth, my friend. Have a good one. Oh, that's nice. Mel's saying, I met your agent, Tova. She's friends with Karen Robinson, and I met them on the street last Seville. Yeah. She is awesome. And no, Linda, they don't pay me in garbage. They don't pay me in garbage. Wait, what is that? Oops. Cancel. I don't know what the hell. I almost banned somebody by accident. Sorry. There's so many screens going on right now. I know it's a joke. Linda. I know. Getting this a lot. Did I watch Ghostbusters? No. Haven't seen it. I'm too busy to buy toys. How am I going to find time to watch movies? Besides, I said I'd watch it with my kids. So I will hopefully see it in the coming week while I am at home, because I am dying to see that movie. Rebecca, that was a great question. Do I turn down roles ever? I've finally gotten to the point in my career where I am allowed to say, well, not allowed, where I'm able to turn down roles. Yeah, offers. Sorry. Let's start this again. I'm at a point in my career now where I don't have to audition all the time for certain roles. They will offer me the part straight up, which is great. I find that it's nice that I finally have a body of work and people can look at it and say, okay, we've seen his work. He's obviously very, very good. So let's offer him the part, because obviously he knows what he's doing. And so there have been a couple instances where I actually have turned down the offer a couple times. And a lot of it has to do with either timing or just, I mean, to be quite frank, I mean, if the role isn't something that I don't need to do for money anymore. And so if I'm offered a role where I look at it and I kind of go, well, I've played this part before, and it's kind of like a part that I don't want to get typecast, so I don't want to keep playing the same kinds of roles, then I'll kindly decline, just because I'm at the point where I want to grow my career, and that's a luxurious place to be in. That's a luxury, because I'm not that far removed from having to take everything that was thrown my way just to make ends meet. So I've been very, very fortunate. So now I'm at the point right now where I don't need to say yes to everything that comes my way, although that's still my first impulse. But I'm learning now that I don't need to say yes to everything. And that goes not only for work, but for other things too. People asking for favors all the time. I try to accommodate as many people as I can, but I find after a while, and especially the more higher profile you get, there are more requests for you. And I'm starting to realize that, in a lot of cases, people are only asking me because it benefits them more than it benefits me. And so that's where it's tough, but I have to start setting boundaries in that respect, because time has now become a very precious commodity for me, time with my family. And so I have to be very, very guarded with it. So I can't always say yes as much as I used to. So there's that. This is a good question. Would I ever want to play main villain? Well, absolutely. I think really great projects have really great villains. You know what I mean? A show needs a proper villain, and not an over-the-top mustache twirling like type villain, but like a good villain keeps the action moving. A good villain, you have people hating you because if people hate you, you're doing a great job. And some of the villains that you look back in time, I think Alan Rickman broke the mold when he played Hans Gruber in probably one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. That's right, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Fight me. But yeah, he just showed you didn't have to be this over the top. You could be sophisticated, you could be intelligent, and still be a villain. And I said that on Kim's as well. We needed proper villains on the show. Like Mrs. Park was a proper villain, right? Jimmy Young was a proper villain. I loved it. So you need characters like that to keep the narrative going forward, to keep the protagonists on their toes. Those are fun parts too. Being a villain's fun. So I would absolutely love to play villain at some point. Plus, it goes really totally against my type. People look at me and go, "Oh my God, he's so nice." I'm like, yeah, but I'd love to play like an asshole. Just let a little bit of my inner asshole slip out. MCU villain incoming. No. No. Come on, you want to twirl your mustache on film. Oh, yeah. Take one last good look at this. Take one good, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. One last good look at it. Paul, if I ever reach out and offer you a role in a local independent film I may be producing, I want you to know it will not be just to attach your name to it. It'll be because I want to hang out. Aw, you don't have to attach me to a film to hang out. If I'm ever in your neck of the woods, I believe you're in Michigan. I just love to hang out. We could just hang out. Yep. There's always a Mrs. Park. There's always a Jimmy Young. There's always a Gus Fring, right? Like they're there. No, I'm just no more spoilers, but I'm just like this is going, and it's for like if you know Avatar, Iroh doesn't have a mustache. He does not have a mustache, so I'm gonna be living this character for the next 6 months. So goodbye. Yeah, it's a really fantastic stuff on the go, and you guys are gonna be. I can't hide my face in public, so. Just know when the stash is gone, it's for that reason. Okay, here we go. Here's a question from Christopher Colvin, my good friend. Paul, congratulations on your greatest endeavors. Thank you. My first question is, do you feel differently personally as you have gained notoriety? My second question is, what keeps you focused and grounded during times away from home? Lastly, a comment. Thank you for being a force of change and positivity in your community. Also, thank you for building the Bitter Brigade. Oh, thank you, Christopher. First of all, I didn't build it. All of you built it. I was just really fortunate that, all of you felt the desire to listen to this idiot babble on YouTube. So, but you, again, I always say this, it's fans make the show. The members of this channel make this channel. I am so appreciative of all the subscribers, of all the members. For tuning in and watching me ramble on and show my true colors and be a nerd and a geek and geek along with me. That's first of all. That's just want to say, all of y'all are the Bitter Brigade. So thank you. Answer your first question: do I feel differently personally as I've gained notoriety? No, and I think that's part of it is because I came to it at this late stage in my career and my life. I think if I was younger, I hate to say this, but yeah, I might have been a bit more of an asshole. You know what I mean? It's like when you're young, not to say young people are assholes, but you start to believe in your press a little bit too much because you don't know any better. And for me, because I've been around the block a few times, and I was a grinder. My career was grinding it out and looking at it from the outside in all the time. And I think that's what kept me grounded. So like whenever success came, for me, I was always very thankful and grateful for it because I know how difficult it is to get anything done, to be cast in anything. So it's one of those things where I didn't get too high on myself, nor would I get too low on things. I mean, it's a wonderful bit of balance. So that is something for me I've always prided myself on, is just sort of maintaining that whole thing. I mean, there's nothing more. I'll tell you a story. So I won my first ever CSA back in 2017. Holy shit. And it was a magical night. You know, it was a rock and roll night because we'd just done a matinee performance of Kim's Convenience in Montreal. They whisked us away in a jet or prop plane, was at Porter Air, flew us from Montreal to Toronto. We landed. They had a car waiting for us, Gene and I. Jumped in the car. We went to the Sony Center. We rehearsed presenting an award. We got changed. We were in the ceremony, and I won for Best Lead Actor in a Comedy. And I gave probably one of the best speeches I will ever give in the history of me giving speeches. And I don't remember any of it because I think I blacked out. And it was just such a heady night of like, it was a Cinderella story, right? This fat kid from Calgary winning an award for Best Comedic Actor. And it was just like, I was on top of the world, gave this speech, met Eugene and Dan Levy, celebrated, went home. And the next morning, I'm still scooping cat shit out of the litter box. And that's the equalizer. You know, you have these incredible moments that are just so fairy tale-esque. And then the next morning, I'm still scooping up cat shit and cleaning up pee. You know, and it's one of those things. It's just that those are wonderful moments, but life goes on. And I like to think that I've maintained that connectivity because I have strong family values that were instilled upon me from my parents. I have a family at home who love me no matter what. They don't love me because I'm on the show or this or that. They love me because I'm their dad and I'm Anna's husband, and you know we that is the best thing that keeps me grounded. So when I'm out and about, I think that's why it's hard on me to be away, because I miss that comfort. As my family is my comfort. They are my rock and my foundation. That's what keeps me grounded at all times, because I do it for them. I do it because of them. You know? So that's what I love. That's what keeps me going. And that's what it is. Yeah, my family. So that's a great question. Thank you so much. People are asking if I can do a live stream of my shaving. No. I'm getting picked up at 4:42 a.m. for the drive out to the studios, and they're gonna do the transformation there. I'm not live streaming it, can't live stream it, but I'm going to have my own personal records of this. And again, I've got to undergo that cone of silence with Netflix. No spoilers, deeply controlled. So I'm not going to be talking about storylines, or things. No spoilers. I don't want to get in trouble. But at the same time, you know, they're encouraging us to take BTS photos. I have so many behind-the-scenes photos at Kim's that I've never ever released. They are just for me. And maybe I'll start doing some photo dumps on this channel of those pictures, right? It'll be the same thing for Avatar. And there will be things that I will be recording, and once the season airs, like any other show, stuff will start appearing. But you're gonna have to be patient. You're all gonna have to be patient. Will auction off the face hair remains? No. No. Who would buy it? Who would buy that? Okay. Have I watched the live adaptation of Cowboy Bebop? It's pretty funny. No, I have not seen that yet, Brad. I haven't had time. I had to carve out some time for this. So that is the thing. And in my spare time, I actually, you know what? I have been rewatching Avatar, the animated series. And wow, just I'm almost done season 2 again, and I cried. I was on the plane from LA to Vancouver, and watched the episodes. Episode 15, Book 2, Tales of Ba Sing Se, and the little vignette didn't even start, and I was already crying because I remembered it. And it's such a powerful thing. And I get a lot of people asking me to sing Leaves from a Vine and stuff like that. That's Book 2. So that's a ways away. But it is something that he's a character of such great strength and sorrow. And I think I've been lucky, because with Kim's, with Appa, I get it, because that was Appa. He was a man of great strength and sorrow. He was a man that was missing his son, but he didn't want to admit it. And so now here I am playing a character who openly loved his son and misses him. So there's going to be so much depth to it, and like for people who don't know me, and I think that's what bugs me when people go, "Oh, don't make it your own." It's just like, you know, I haven't even started filming yet. People are already giving me notes, right? And like I get it, people love the animated series. People love it, and they're protective of it, and for sure. But what we're doing, we're not gonna like, okay, now that the live action is, we're gonna delete all the animated. It's still gonna be there. It will still be there, right? But we're doing our own thing. We're doing our own thing. And if you want to come along for a ride, absolutely. But what bugs me, and I'll admit to this, it bugs me. It's like when people, and in real life, when people shit all over you before you've even begun, saying, "Oh, well, I don't know about this," it's not helpful. And in fact, what it does is it provides fuel. It's fuel. Because it's the whole, hold my beer, watch this, right? But doomsaying or being, I think it's going to suck because of this or that. It's like, why don't you wait? Just wait. Wait and watch it. And then if you want to judge it, by all means. But at least give it a chance before it's even, like, that's the thing. We just started filming. And there are people like, "Oh, I don't know. They better not do what M. Night Shyamalan did." Do we look like M. Night Shyamalan? No. That was like a 2-hour movie that was poorly cast, let's be honest. And, how do you condense 22 episodes of season 1, which is 11 hours of content, into a 2-hour movie? That's that's folly. This is not a movie. We're not shooting a movie. We're shooting a series, right? So you've got, I think it's 8 1-hour episodes. You got to trust that if you look at the casting alone, you have to trust that they are not going to repeat the same mistakes. It's a completely different company. It's a completely different thing. So my big thing is just give us a chance. Give us a chance, and I think you'll be blown away. So that's just me. That's just me saying that. And it's like, just because there was one bad version of a show doesn't taint everything. It's like, do fans honestly think, "Oh my God, they did such a bad job with that movie. Oh, I bet they're going to do the exact same thing again." It's like, no, of course not. Of course not. But that's one of the problems with, I think, social media, is everybody's allowed to voice their opinion, right? And oh, my water's gone. I've gone dry. Anyways, I'm going to stop focusing on that. But I'll tell you, though, as an actor, you try not to let that stuff affect you, but it affects you. 99.9% of all the comments were fantastic, so supportive and so lovely. But it just takes one that sticks out. One person going, "Don't make it your own. Don't you remember what happened to M. Night Shyamalan? That really worries me." It's like, fuck, dude. You don't even know me, and you're saying shit like that? Fuck. That's 2 swears, so finish your drink. That's nice, Kev. Thank you. Kev, I'm saying this. Thank you very much. More filler for my intros in the future. That's right, my friend. And I've started watching Visions. Just started watching Visions just so we could do that. There you go. There, thank you, Melissa. Gotta love the armchair quarterbacks. I think their vision is the end-all, be-all of filmmaking. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I don't want to sound like a crybaby actor. It's just, but it's like, I take it seriously. This is a role of a lifetime. And I want to do it justice. But I don't want to copy what Mako did. Anybody can do an imitation. I want to do an imitation. I'm going to pay it the respect it deserves. But I'm the one who's going to be in it. It's got to be different. And not like different for the sake of being different. It's like, "Oh, I'm going to do Uncle Iroh like this, and we're going to change his look and make him all, poncy." It's not that. Dear God. I think people don't understand sometimes. Fans, these gatekeeping fans, don't understand. There's a process. It's a craft, right? So, and if they want the same avatar, if they're that protective, then by all means, it's still going to be there. We're not touching that, right? So, all right. I'm going to stop and move on from that. Another question from John Carmen. Sneaks in two. Congrats, I was worried you'd be typecast as A.M.A. You were worried. Do you know who they cast in that role, or are they going to TJ Biden to act like it's flying, the way they taught monkeys to act like they were riding horses? They weren't monkeys on those. Those were actually mo-capped human beings on those horses. As far as I know, I'll tell you this. Every time I read the call sheet and it does mention A.M.A, I think it's talking about me. But that's because, I've spent the last 5 years playing character named A.M.A. So I automatically A.M.A. I'm like, what? Oh, right. The bison. So I don't know what they're going to do with A.M.A. Tape a bunch of cats together? I think it'll be CGI. All right, Kevin. Good night. Good night. All right. Time is it? 6:20. Holy cow. How long have I been on for? Ooh, this has gone on longer than I thought. I need to pee. Yes. So my wife is, Anna is watching. She knows. She's texted me. She can read the signs. I need to pee. So, just, it's a bio break. I'm going to go refill my drink, and I'm going to, I need to get a picture of A.M.A meeting A.M.A. It's spelled the same way, just so you know. But, I'm going to go take a quick bio break. Y'all just hang tight, and I will be back. Refill your drinks, and we're going to finish off the rest of the questions. Give me 30 seconds, okay? Okay, I'm back. How many people would lose? Ooh, only like 12. Just kidding. I'm back. My wife can read me so very well. What was that question, Vanessa? You asking if I answer your question, Vanessa? No, I see your question down there. So you know what? I'm going to get down here. So the next question is from Eduardo Oliveira. He says, congratulations on being a part of Iroh. Thank you. Very well deserved. My question for you besides Iroh, who is your favorite Avatar character and why? Ooh, that's a good question. I always found myself very partial to Sokka. Just because he's great comic relief, and I love the growth of his character. I mean, they all grow, and there's Aang, who becomes, the Avatar, and Katara, obviously, who comes into her own as a waterbender, and Toph, who's great. But it's just like Sokka has always been that kind of like that goofy comic relief guy, but who really, really grows. He becomes a man, and I love seeing that. And the wiseacre, nobody taking him seriously, to actually becoming a a great protector and warrior and a better, bigger brother. And you see in his relationships with Suki and with Princess from the Northern Water Tribe. The name slips on my mind. You nerds know this, but I love his. He makes me laugh. Sokka always makes me laugh, and I think that's important in the series. It's important, and so yeah. And Ian Owsley, who plays Sokka, is. I said this before. I think he's gonna steal every scene he's in because he's got that right blend of, youthful sort of like he tries really hard and like just that comedy. I think it's amazing. So, good night, Lamb of God. Thanks for throwing your brother under the bus yet again. I know he appreciates it. I do. Have a great night, my friend. Okay. There's that. We have. Here we go. We have from my friend Mike, Bad Wolf Media, just a little peek behind the curtain question of your process. When the role of Iroh was being cast, did you have a moment, either before reaching out to them or when they reached out to you, however it happened, when you questioned whether you wanted to do it just because of the idea of following Mako? No. That is a great question. They didn't. Here's the thing. It's so funny because when they announced that they were making the live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think I was fan cast like immediately. People were like, "Oh, Paul, you should do this. You should do that. You should be reading for this. You should be auditioning for it." And it's like, that's great, but it's kind of not how auditioning kind of works. I mean, I think as you get bigger in terms of your name and your stature or like in your career, you can throw your name. You can do that. You can call up, say, my agent would say, we think Paul should audition for this part. I don't know if I've reached that stage yet, but certainly back then it was not. It wasn't anything like that. It wasn't like, well, we think Paul should definitely read for this part. And I was doing Kim's at the time too, right? So I was locked in for another couple of seasons with Kim. So that's difficult when you're doing two shows at once. A show always has what we call first position, so that they have you locked down, and it's like anything that you do outside of that, if there's a conflict of schedule, they don't have to capitulate. Like the production that has you under contract in first position, they own your time. So the other production company, that's a big consideration when they have an actor who is under contract with another show. They have to be willing to work around a schedule, and as we all know, schedules change, production schedules, things happen, and things don't always happen according to plans. So it makes it very difficult. So I didn't. I remember thinking, oh, that's quaint, and it's great that people think that I should play Iroh, but it's completely out of my hands, and I hadn't even gotten an offer to audition for it. So I always got a bit of a chuckle about that, because it was sort of like, people say, we really think you should audition for it. And I go, well, that's very nice. Thank you for thinking that, but it's kind of not how it works, right? And so it was interesting, because when I did finally audition for it, and I did, had that 2-week period where I didn't hear back, and I thought, I got to flush this one and just wipe it. I wanted it. I really, really wanted that part for a number of different reasons. I think one was career-wise, it's going to be like another boost. It's another great role. It's a bigger role, bigger stature. It's got a fantastic fan base. It's of a series that I love. And so the nerd in me really wanted to play it. And I didn't even think about, the responsibility of like, well, you've got big shoes to fill. It didn't really sink in until it was announced. And then, when all the fans were super supportive, I suddenly became very worried that, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this part justice? And that was the first time I really thought about it, because everything, it's that whole thing like in Star Trek, like wanting is better than having sometimes, right? And so, good night, Mike. See you later. Have a good one. Give your gals a kiss on the forehead for me. Thanks for stopping by. So for me, it was just like I hadn't even entered the scope of like, oh my God. But I think initially, part of me was like, Well, yeah, of course I can play that role. It's in my wheelhouse. I know craft-wise I have it. I know I have respect for the source material. I know I have the capability of doing it. So, yeah. And it's a challenge. That's the other thing, too. And I think it's good to have a little bit of that healthy fear to sort of push yourself, to keep yourself honest, and to drive you as a performer. I mean, if you roll in just going, yeah, I got this, no problem, I'd be a little worried. I think a good amount of healthy respect and fear is great. It's a great motivator. And again, as you find your version of this character, and I'm going to say this, my version of Iroh, that comfort you'll see and you'll be able to grow it, you know? How many people shit all over the fact that it was a woman, that it was Katie Sackhoff, that they'd reimagined the character of Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica? How many people shit all over that because, oh my god, fuck, a woman playing Starbuck? Fuck that shit. Who the fuck did they think they are? Fuck. And she redefined that character. It was amazing what Katie Sackhoff did for that, right? The whole series, the whole reboot of Galactica was a revelation. So, you know, I remember people shitting all over Michael Keaton as a choice for the Batman. Tim Burton directing Batman? Michael Keaton? What the hell? It's going to be a clown show. And it was a clown show, but a great one, because it had Jack Nicholson playing the Joker. You had Jack Palance in it as well. It was great in all those campy kind of ways, but still dark and dangerous. And that's what I'm talking about. Making these iconic characters your own, your version of it. Just because it's not exactly as you had imagined in your mind doesn't make it terrible. And I think that's what I love about fandom, is the ones who look at it and go, wow, that was completely not what I expected, but I love it. That's what I want. And I think that's what the best thing about doing these shows again, because if you're going to do a show again, don't do the exact same shit, because it's already there. People who complain about the sequels of Star Wars, right? The sequel trilogy. People shit all over Last Jedi because it wasn't exactly the same as everything that we had, and we wanted it to be exactly the same. The fucking trilogies are right there. Just watch that again. If you want something new, something relevant, you have to be open to that. I'm sorry, I'm just getting water high or something like that. It's just... But I get passionate about this stuff. Like, it matters. Like, doing a good job on Avatar matters. And we're all... Nobody goes into it going, let's fuck this up. Let's do a shitty version that everybody's going to hate. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. So, that's my passionate plea. Is to just like, go in with optimism. You know? Don't bury it before it's even started. Because I think you're really going to love what's happening. First two scripts are... As a fan, I love them. So, I'm going to do that. Thanks, Tommy. I paid him for that. Not really. I'm not paying him. Ewan McGregor nailed Obi-Wan. Made it his own, even though it was a younger version. I will nail Iroh. Well, that's the hope. That's the hope. Thank you, my friend. Okay. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. Just imagine. People on Netflix. Oh, he's got his own YouTube channel. What is... Oh, my God. Somebody put a muzzle on him. All right. Devesh Sood. Congrats on the casting. If you could place yourself in any franchise solely to be sold as a toy, which would you pick? Excluding Star Wars, of course. Well, fuck. I'm just kidding. Ghostbusters. Back to the Future. Star Trek. Battlestar Galactica. Space 1999. Godzilla. All of those. Like, man, just find the thing that you love and do it. And, I wonder if they're going to have Avatar toys. Man, that would be wizard. Right? Yeah? Yeah. I think that'd be wizard. All right, Damage Queen. Hey, Paul, did you have to audition for the last Airbender film? Or did they just give it to you? Oh, no. First, it's not a film. It's a mini-series, 8 episodes. And yeah, I had to audition. And I went over it earlier on in the stream. But yeah, no, it was a great process. Well, it's a weird process. Auditioning over Zoom is weird. But yeah, Yeah. Had to audition. Val A. Hey, Paul. First of all, congratulations. You're going to own the role of Uncle Iroh. I can't wait. Thank you so much. My question is, do you think the Star Wars Skywalker Saga 4K set is worth it compared to the individual boxes? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm glad I had it. I have it. Just because it is a collectible oddity. I love how the book opens up. I love the individual art book in it. Not a big fan of how the movies are in the sleeves themselves. If there was another version that I would have of it, I love the steelbooks. I think they look absolutely gorgeous. Wish there was just a little bit more symmetry in terms of how they planned out the steelbooks. Like if they had an overarching theme that tied it all together, and if the spines made another piece of art, I think that would be absolutely money. But I mean, I'm glad I have it. I have the Skywalker Saga in that box set. I just think it looks neat, and I know I have a couple of collector friends out there who hate it just because it's oversized and doesn't fit in with their shelves with all their other physical media. But I don't mind it at all. I really like it. So, I mean, it was, how much was it? I can't remember how much I spent on it. I think it was like $300, $299. I thought it was worth it, and especially when it goes out of print, and it's very hard to find. That's when you're like, I'm really happy about this one. So yes, in my opinion, it's worth it. But I'm also admittedly biased because I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, and I will pay that geek tax so many times. Yeah. Okay. What do we have here? You guys are so nice. Uncle Iroh, 1/6 scale. Wow. Yeah, unbox. I'll unbox myself. It's like an Inception type thing. Okay. Let's go on to the next question. Chris Christie. Congrats. I have a question, but I'm not sure you can personally answer. What was the process like of turning Kim's from play to a wonderful TV show? Yeah, that's a great question. I was not part of that process, but what I can say is Ince Choi, who wrote the play, he was paired with an experienced showrunner and writer by the name of Kevin White, and this was after a long process of Ince meeting a bunch of showrunners and getting to know them, and then once he found he clicked with Kevin, they immediately set to work in terms of taking the source material and breaking it down and coming up with a run of 13 episodes, different episode ideas. If you watch season 1 of Kim's, there are a lot of references from the play that are directly lifted and sprinkled throughout. And then as we go on, because the play is just, that's one. It's kind of like the foundation of the core of it, but there's so many more stories that branched out. That they had a wonderful room of writers that came in and for 5 seasons broke out different storylines and stuff. So it was I wasn't part of that process, but as a performer, it was always wonderful to get these new scripts, new lines, and for the most part, really, really fantastic scripts to work off of. Because like anything else, as a performer, you bring a lot of yourself into it, but like it's always very, very beneficial to have a good script, right? Because when you have a good script and good actors, you can make some beautiful TV. All right. Next question. Sean P. You don't have a question, but I appreciate what you do for the Bitter Brigade Nation. Oh, actually, you do have a question. Do you have any more purple and yellow represent hats? Yes, we do. I'm pretty sure we do. We have a surplus from the Niagara Falls Comic Con. We sold quite a few, but we had some left over. And seeing how I'm not going to be at a con anytime soon, we're going to, we've offered them up on the website. So I actually did this. Hopefully it works. It is here. If you want to know where you can get that swag from, you can go to bitterasiandude.com/merch. I believe the purple hats, the special con exclusive hats are no longer con exclusives, but they are available on the website. So just go to that website, click on merch, And we're also switching over to, we're going to be carrying inventory now. So you don't have to, we're not going to wait for a number to be made before we put in the order. We're going to have floating stock in hand so that as soon as people order, it's going to get shipped out right away. I have to apologize for everybody who's ordered hats and has been so patient. Thank you. Again, this is, I keep saying it's been about a year, but it's like, it is an ongoing learning process, selling merch. And for the longest time, too, there were supply issues. I know you hear this from everybody, but New Era hats had a shortage of the hats that we wanted. And we had to wait for them to become in stock before we could get them made. So there you go. Purple toques, something we'll look into. Bitter Lab system though. Reboot of Space 1999, that'd be cool. Hoodie re-release, wow, hoodies. The hoodies were, I'm just gonna say the hoodies. Thank you so much. I'm glad people like them. The hoodies, as lovely as they were, a huge pain in the ass to make because we didn't get enough orders for them, to be honest. And again, that's the other thing. It's like having T-shirts or whatever. Unless you go to a Redbubble style, maybe we'll do that. We will do it so it's a direct to. We'll go to a different sort of distribution company so that when the order comes in, they can make it to order. I think that's something. So if people, yeah, we can offer it again, and we'll see. I just want to make sure that the quality of the product matches the expectation, because those of you who got hoodies, you know what, the really good quality hoodies, and not every one of these places offer that style or that particular quality of hoodie. They kind of go for like super cheap, super fast. And the one thing that I wanted with the Bitter merch is for it to be really quality and long lasting, and something that, you know, with a thick, heavy sort of material that doesn't pill up when you wash it and whatnot. So we'll see. But again, these are other things that they're good problems to have. People want your merch, so I think that's great. Bitter Lab. I see. I get it. Okay. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to get rid of that. What's that? Bittercoin, cryptocurrency, Bittercon, Teespring. Okay. Teespring is popular YouTube creators. Thanks. I'll make a note of that, Chris. Thank you. Bitter Lab thing was an attempt at HasLab about needing number of before it's produced. It kind of was, to be honest. It was, and it's just so that we're not sitting on stock that nobody's buying, right? So, but the other side, the flip side is that is like people had to wait forever before we had a good enough amount of quantity in terms of ordering to go in. Yes. Have I seen, this is great, Val. Have I seen Andy Everson's Star Wars Indigenous art? I haven't. In fact, one of my biggest thrills was we follow each other on Instagram. I was following his account for a while, and he followed me back. He's a member of the 501st as well. Huge fan of his work. Had my wife, Anna, actually tweet me on his designs, and they're gorgeous. I love them. I love that cross-sectionality of it. Big fan of his work. Yeah, and if you get a chance, again, it's Andy Everson. Check him out. Canadian, Indigenous, and it's support him. Go support his work. Bitter enamel pin. That's cool. That's a really good idea, Vanessa. Thank you. Think about that. And as well, there's going to be, I'm looking into a redesign of the Bitterasiandude logo as well. So we're going to be looking at some fresh things, fresh new starts, I think, which would be great. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, Vanessa. Hey, here we go. We're at your question now. Hi, Paul. Congrats on the big news. Yay. My question for you is, could you take us through a rundown of what a day in the life is like for you from start to finish when you're filming/rehearsing? I know it can vary depending on the project, but in a sample day from any. When does your day start and what's in the in-between? Thank you, P.S. I may be a bit late. Okay. Every day is different. You're right. Every day is different. But a typical day, if I'm shooting, is, the night before I will I will get all my ducks in a row. I'll get everything ready. I'll make sure I'm prepped for the next day, and you know, I will make sure I'm up early enough, first of all. So if my call time is like, so for example, tomorrow my call time is like 4:42. I'm getting picked up for 45-minute ride out to studio. So that means I want to give myself enough time. So I'll set my alarm for 3:42 in the morning. I hit snooze once, 15 minutes, but I'll get up before the snooze thing hits again. I wake myself up with the shower, get ready for the day, get prepped, and then I'll be downstairs waiting before my actual pickup time, because what was instilled on me and I still sort of hold dear is early is on time is late is unacceptable. So when I'm working, I'm there early. So head out to the studio, and then depending on what they need to do. Tomorrow it's a bunch of hair and makeup. It's a hair and makeup day, and then final fittings for the costumes. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of notes back and forth between little tweaks here and there and what they want. And then we'll shoot the scenes. And depending on the complexity of the scene, there may be, when we're actually working, different directors have different styles. But generally speaking, we will do a private rehearsal, private blocking. Once we're set in on that and the director's happy with that, we'll have a crew blocking. So the crews will come in and they'll watch and see what we've done, and then we'll leave as they prep the set for that. It's rinse and repeat throughout the whole day until the scenes are done. When they're done, it'll be sometimes there's a meal thrown in there between, depending on how long it takes. But once the day is done and the makeup is off and whatnot, it is sort of that getting ready, getting that drive back to where I'm staying. And depending on what time it is, I have no idea how long tomorrow is going to be. I expect it to be, at minimum 12 hours. But, back at the hotel or back home, and a nice quick shower to just sort of wash the day off of me. And if I was at home, spend it with my family, play with my dog, and just sort of decompressing a little bit, but also prepping for the next day of work, which is, an ongoing process for an actor. It's like your work is never really done. There's always prep that you need to do, and and that's what it is. And if I get home in time for dinner, I'll have dinner with my family, or I'm going to be here, so it'll be dinner with friends if I make it back early enough, fingers crossed. And then back to the hotel, and I might unwind a little bit. I'll do some social media stuff. I'll surf the net. I'll check out Instagram. I'll watch a bunch of reels, send some to my family. Check Twitter, check Facebook. I might watch a little something, but then get ready for sleep to start the next day again. It's pretty boring. It's not exciting. It's not exciting, but I hope that answered your question. That's what I figured tomorrow might be like. How much time do you get to learn your lines? It's interesting because you get the scripts in advance, but what you really need, it's called the day out of days, and it's basically the shooting schedule. And so you see what the breakdown of every day is like, and what scenes, what day you're working next, and what scenes you're going to be working on. So I prepare commensurate to that, right? So based on that, so I'll look and go, okay, this day I'm working on these scenes, that day I'm working on those scenes. So I'll prep for those scenes and be off book for them, be ready for them. Because the one thing I hate as an actor is people waiting for me because I don't know my lines, and that's never gonna happen. That I try to never let that happen. Yeah, I mean, Anton, it is, prep time in a profession is prep time. I mean, that's what it is. It's got to be, it's a craft. There are certain things that you need. I believe a professional needs to do in order to function at an elite level. At a proper level. That's, for me, those are important things. So, it's good that you akin that to. It's nice because when you're up in the air, you need to have all your ducks in a row, because if something goes wrong, you need to be prepped. Well, as an actor, I firmly believe that You know, that's my job, is to be ready to rock and roll. No one should ever have to wait for an actor because they're not prepped for the day and they don't know the lines. I think that's so unprofessional. So I try not to let that happen. All right, that's the last written question from the community page, which is super awesome. Unless somebody snuck another one in. Oh my God. A bunch of you did. A bunch of you did. Val, you just asked the question, would you like to do work behind the camera in a project? I think eventually I would. I'm having too much fun acting right now. So I'm going to stick to that for the next little bit. So, but that's a great question. I think there are always skill sets that we can be drawing from and learning from. So there's that. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up because we're pushing now 2 hours, and I got to get ready for bed. So here is CJ Adams asked, do I have any martial arts background? I don't know if the stuff I saw in Kim's Convenience was legit or not. It kind of was half legit just because I did, when I was in high school, my dad made me take Hapkido. So for Kim's, the stuff that you did see, although I have not practiced Hapkido in years, the forms are very familiar, and I have a passing knowledge of it. So it's not it's not like they're asking me to ride a horse and I've never ridden a horse before type thing, right? So there is that element to it. And so yeah, for Kim's, it was relatively easy, but again, the stuntmen, they're the ones that sold it. They're the ones that sold that. And so I have a very small, minute martial arts background. Tommy is asking, Tommy K, my friend, shut up. Who are you most looking forward to doing a scene with in Avatar? Oh my God, yeah. The kids are awesome. I love them. They're fantastic. I'm going to have scenes with them. I have to be honest, I super fangirled out when I heard DDK was cast in it. Of course, Daniel Dae Kim, a huge fan of his. I geeked out even harder when I found out Ken Leung is being cast as Admiral Zhao or Commander Zhao. I freaked out about that because I love him as an actor. My son Miles is actually named after the character he played in Lost, Miles Strom. So that's me. The super chat from Val. Aw, thanks Val. Really appreciate it. That money's going right back into the channel. For those of you who don't know, take a drink. That is what this is all about. All the money doesn't line my pockets. It goes into the channel. So I can get back to producing great content for you. Thank you, everybody, for being so patient while I've been on the road. I know fun boxings. I live for fun boxings. We tried one last Monday. It felt a little bit weird. It felt like camping, like a camping fun boxing, which was okay. But I can't wait for this Sunday to come up. What date is that going to be? That'll be the 20. No, today's the 21st. The 28th. 28th. Looking forward to that date. For a proper fun boxing. So I miss that. On that note, I'm gonna say goodbye and good night. There are some of the other questions that are there. Hold on. All right, hold on. Okay, this is for Christopher, my next door neighbor. Because if you're still here and you're listening, I want to answer your question. With the live action remake of Cowboy Bebop and some of the mixed reviews, is there a level of stress you're dealing with knowing the pressure and expectations of taking a beloved anime into live action? Yeah, I mean, you've heard me rant about it for this whole A.M.A. Yeah, absolutely. Just there's stress involved because no one wants to be told they suck. Or you know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody's setting out to do that. You're doing something that I think is exciting, and you want to have fun with it, and you want to do something that's new and fresh, and for the fans as well. But it is very much like the whole you can't please everybody, and if you try to, you're not going to please anybody. So when I speak about make it my own and owning the character as well. That doesn't mean I'm going to change Iroh completely, but I'm playing him. And I'm not going to be the animated version of Iroh because that version doesn't exist in real life. In real life, in live action, it's going to be me. So there will be the respect, there will be the reverence, there will be the heart. There will be Iroh's love for his son, Lieutenant. That feeling of loss, that wanting to mentor Zuko, that fatherly relationship that he has with him, but also as his uncle, as his mentor, as his friend, as his confidant, as his taskmaster. It's a complicated relationship. And I'm really looking forward to working with Dallas, who's a tremendous talent. I'm really looking forward to finding that and getting that chemistry. You know what I mean? Like, I just met Dallas a few weeks ago. So we're going to build on that, and we're going to really, really find the heart of that relationship. And yeah, so it's stressful, though. It's stressful because there is a weight of expectation, and I don't take this lightly because I care. I care about the characters. I care about the fans. But at the same time, I can't be completely beholden to that, because when you just bend over backwards and capitulate, you're never going to make anybody happy. And I think that robs a character of strong choices. And there are going to be choices that we make that might not sit well with certain fans. But I think I've earned that trust. And I'm looking forward to that challenge. Anyways, I want to answer that. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around. Holy crap, 2 hours of an A.M.A. I didn't think this would go an hour. You are all fantastic. Thank you. In this time of COVID, stay safe, right? You know the drill. You know the drill. Get your booster shot now. Now I can start saying this. Get your booster shot, right? Let's build up the efficacy of your double vaxxed. If you haven't been vaxxed, please consider getting vaccinated. I think by now it's been proven all over the world that the vaccines help. They won't prevent you 100% from getting COVID, but they will greatly reduce the effects of COVID. And that's what it's about, giving our emergency services, our hospital, our medical services a break from that massive tidal wave of casualties from this. So stay safe. Continue wearing a mask in closed places. Wash your hands. Stop touching your face. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Know that I am eternally grateful for all of your support and your friendship. And I love you all. So y'all have a great week. We will see you after the jump. Okay? See you. Oh, I forgot that. This is so awkward. Bye.